Boom, we're back. And today we have a nice roll between two blue belts that are competing this Saturday. So this is going to be a nice and competitive roll between the two. We have Asian Mike on the left, and we have sandbagging blue belt Matt on the right. If you want to get awesome gear like Mike is wearing, make sure to check out my link in the description below. Now these two wanted the feeling of what it's like to roll on Molly because they are designed to roll under that light which is constantly flickering, just so you guys are aware. Matt is immediately moving in on top of Mike because he wants to start working on top as he will in the tournament. Mike is fine to start on bottom, so he wants to start in this position because he's been looking for a lot of footlocks. Matt is starting off hard because he wants to have nice pressure to try and pass this guard of Mike. Both men are competing this Saturday, but luckily they're in different weight divisions. Matt's competing at 185 and Mike is competing at 155. They're both blue belts, but they're competing in the advanced division, meaning they technically could go up against black belts. It's unlikely they're going to have any black belts against them. Typically, black belts don't go to these tournaments, but it's always an option. Also, you have to remember, because it's advanced, Mike, despite being a blue belt, can go for any footlock that he wants. So he can go for inverted heel hooks, knee reaps, all of that is allowed at this tournament. Speaking of which, Mike just went for his first foot attack, but Matt was able to spin out of it nicely. That's good that he's able to do that because he's definitely going to watch out for that in the advanced divisions. Now Matt is pushing back into Mike because he wants to stay on top, but Mike is going to elevate him and now he's going to Otsurashi. From here he's looking to grab the heel hook and he starts spinning, but he doesn't have enough knee line control of Matt, so Matt is able to continue spinning out of there into safety. Now the big thing is that these two are not really thinking too much about sweeps and points. They're both going to give up positions where one person goes on top and one person goes on bottom. I think that is going to be the biggest difference when these guys go to the tournament, is that it's not like rolling at our gym. At our gym, we just roll, we don't think too much about the points, but in a tournament setting, that is extremely important if you want to win. Most times, you can see a lot of matches that are decided by an early lead, such as one takedown might be the whole difference of the whole match. Matt is maintaining his top position, which is great, so he did not give up the sweep to Mike. I would like to see Mike be a little bit more active, because you have to remember with Mike, he likes the old man jiu-jitsu style, but there's one big issue with that. If you use the old man jiu-jitsu style, but you're only in a 5-minute match, you may give up an early lead to something such as a takedown, and then you can't come back to it because you're trying to waste too much time setting something up. I'm not saying that old man jiu-jitsu isn't effective, I'm just saying that when you have a limited timer, you have to be a little bit more offensive and get to good positions, and then maintain the positions. Now Mike is digging for an underhook with his left arm on the right shoulder of Matt. As he does this, Matt is going to look for his own counter. He's going to go for the head and he's looking towards the guillotine attack. That's a smart move. I like going for that attack, but Mike is able to roll him off of him so he can reset the position. He did lose his underhook and he's not able to get on top of Matt, so there's no offensive movement from him, but he was able to get his head out from that potential choke. As Matt comes back in, Mike is looking to attack the right leg of Matt, and here's a key thing you need to know when you're attacking legs like this. If it's the lead leg, you need to get weight off of that leg so you can go for your attacks. He should be looking to elevate the hips similar to you do as when you're an X guard so you can get some nice attacks going. Matt instead is looking for a knee cut to pass this guard. As he does this though, Mike pushes him by and now they're both in a standing position. From here, I would like to see Mike go for the takedown because he was on bottom, so he needs to get his 2 points. Instead, he decides to pull guard and he goes for another leg attack and Matt spins out of it. It's wise by Matt to be able to get his feet free so he can escape this position and start to look towards another pass. If you have your feet controlled, you're asking to get put in danger, especially if you know they want leg locks. Having just your feet controlled may not get you submitted, but you're still going to get put in a series of sweeps that are not fun to deal with. Now what I think Matt could really add to his game would be some jumping attacks or where you can hop over the legs. This puts people in a lot of danger because they can't time you nearly as well if you're using some fast motion. He was able to move out towards the side and he gets some points here for the pass. Now with the new rules, if they go to turtle after you pass, you still get 2 points for that, which is a great change to the rule system, so you can't always go to turtle to avoid bad positions. Once Matt has Mike in the turtle, he's looking for the power half, but he doesn't have enough weight over the shoulders. He should be looking to lean more towards Mikey's right arm. The power half is not a pull move, it's a pressure move. You have to push forward to get the power half to work. Mike was able to spin out of there, and now he's on top and he's in Matt's guard, and he's going to pass this guard quickly to go into side control because Matt was looking for a triangle / armbar. So now Mike has got his own sweep and he passed the guard, which is putting him in a great position in this match. He's looking at north-south and he could be looking for a Darce attempt, but it doesn't look like anything's going to be happening there because it's pretty hard to go for the Darce if they already have north-south on bottom. Instead, you should try and look for it from side control, or hopefully they go up towards the turtle position. Now Matt is doing a nice job getting his legs back in to put Mike in full guard so he can work towards a more advantageous position for himself. He's potentially looking for his own sweep, but Mike is putting a lot of weight forward to try and keep his hips and back low to the mat. Now let's do my question of the day quick. My question is, when you're looking to compete in a competition, what is the main thing that you focus on in your trainings? Do you like to work from specific positions? Let me know in the comments below. As Mike is in full guard, I like to see him try and open this guard so he can set up his own attacks. This would mean that you have to create some nice posture and then you can work your way up. Every time you send your weight forward, yes, you might be countering their attack that they're looking for, but you're also not getting out of the full guard position. Matt is now setting up a rubber guard, and I really like this because he's going for the dead orchard position. Unfortunately, Mike is able to scoot his hips out, and Matt loses this spot, but the dead orchard would be really cool to see on this channel because I don't think that's quite been done yet. As he was able to get out of that position, he's now sitting back for another foot attack. Now this foot attack he may be going for, but you have to remember these things are dangerous in tournament settings, because if Matt is able to get on top from a failed foot attack where you sat back, now Matt got the sweep and you're down some more points. So you need to make sure that if you go for things like this in a tournament setting, you either are getting the submission or you're bailing on it and coming back on top. Because Matt is now on top, now he's leading the charge and he got his sweep because he was able to get out from underneath of Mike. Now Mike is going to be able to escape this position with a great Kimura trap where he can come on top as he's done before. Unfortunately, he kicks the camera so you're not going to be able to see it. Even though I was off the mat, he still feels like he needs to kick me because he gets mad about all the times I submit him in training. He's working on top of Matt, so he did get a sweep, but he's sitting back again. I just think he should be going for a different game plan. If he's thinking about competing at the tournament, I think he should look to pass the guard instead of sit back so much for the leg attacks. For all I know, however, Mike could have been focusing mostly on foot attacks for this role because he wants to do the rounds a lot faster when he's at the tournament. He might not want to go the entire duration for every match that he has because he has quite a few matches. He might be looking for quick submissions instead. I'm going to say, however, if you can pass guard and hold somebody, that takes very little out of your cardio, especially if you have extra matches. So finding the easier people and passing them and winning on points might be a better choice to do compared to when you're going with a more experienced person where you won't be able to do that and you're going to need a lot more energy. Want to know the great thing though is that Mike is still on top, so he didn't lose his position despite all those attacks. Now Matt is attacking the left wrist of Mike, which may lead into the triangle, but he is short on time. And Mike knows this, so he's going to start moving extra now as he wants to pass this guard to get some more points. He isn't able to pass this guard and brings us to the end of the round. If you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to watch my videos after the tournament of how these guys do. It'll be really exciting to see, and I hope they do really well. Thanks for watching.